Heureux les pauvres de cœur, car le royaume des cieux est à eux.
What a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and griefs to bear.
Heureux ceux qui pleurent, car ils seront consolés.
Oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pain we bear.
Heureux les doux, car ils recevront la terre en héritage.
Oh, because we do not care.
Réjouissez-vous, car votre récompense est grande dans les cieux.
I must examine a few highlights over the last 20 years of my life. Highlights, not every moment of the last 20 years, where God has pretty blatantly used signs to knock me over the head to communicate his mercy. And in looking back, I can see that there have been three stages, if you will, of development in my own spiritual evolution. Stage one being prayer. Everything in my life has started with prayer, including my life. My parents prayed for me. They were faithful and are faithful people. They prayed often. They prayed with their children and for them and for all of their family and friends. As I referenced earlier, the family that prays together stays together was a phrase that my father used liberally in our home, and we did. I remember my grandmother, my Irish grandmother, coming over from Ireland every summer, and we would kneel at our bedside, my sisters and I, and learn prayers and repeat them, and those prayers stayed with me my entire life. Prayer was colloquially omnipresent, spontaneous. It was always in gratitude, but always there, especially amidst the trials and tribulations, the foibles and follies and the waxing and waning episodes in my life. And in my mid-20s, there was a lot of waning going on. I was figuring out who I was, what my relationships meant to me, where my career may or may not go. But prayer was a constant. It never stagnated. It was always this divine dialogue with God, sort of a coffee talk between God and myself. During one of those waning moments, I developed an interest in divine mercy. My father had discovered it some 15 years earlier. I didn't know much about it, but my interest was piqued, probably due to the image. It was striking. Jesus, one hand in blessing, the other to his heart, a red ray and a white ray in his priestly garment. I didn't know the origins of it. I knew nothing about it. It was just kind of mysterious looking. So I decided to pray the Divine Mercy Chaplet with the image. Wouldn't it be perfect if there existed a Divine Mercy image in the style of a Greek Orthodox icon? I'd never seen one. 3 days later, this showed up outside my door on top of the mailboxes of the dusty first-floor lobby of the building in which I lived. If you can't see it because it's pretty small, it is a Greek Orthodox image of the Divine Mercy image. Yet 3 days later, after I asked for one, there it was. It's been with me for 17 years. Praise God. So, daily Mass, praying the Divine Mercy Chaplet, daily Mass when I could, because I also had to work. Confession, receiving the Eucharist, saying the Rosary, all of those became essential parts of directing, acting, producing, and the modus operandi of any and all issues that seem to arise. And boy, let me tell you, when you're working for Jesus, issues arise, as many of the folks setting up for tonight can attest to. You know, it's as if something or someone doesn't want us to succeed in promoting the gospel. I wonder who that could be. St. Vincent de Paul said the most powerful weapon to conquer the devil is humility. For as he does not know at all how to employ it, neither does he know how to defend himself from it. God's mercy flows through humility. Stage 3 is where God got real with me, or more accurately, I got real with God. Total surrender. Combined with stage 1, prayer, and stage 2, expectant faith. There was no denying that the Lord was doing a work of preparation in me. To maintain the coffee talk analogy, stage 3 is what I would consider the extra large triple shot Spanish latte with oat milk. Dairy allergies, what can you do? With all the time I'd spent playing Christ, my faith and prayer life were very active, but not more active than me. What do I mean by that? I mean, I was doing everything within my power to make my career happen. I prayed, I had faith, I had expectant faith even, but I was also juggling 7 different side jobs at that point. The more jobs I took, the less money I made. I said, how does that math work? How does that even work? When it came to my career, I had one prayer for 8 years in Los Angeles. I said, Lord, if there's anything else you see me doing, if there's any other way that you wish me to serve you outside of being an artist, please tell me what it is, because this is really hard. Silence. The desire never left to be an artist, to act. It only increased. The opportunities were virtually non-existent. I couldn't understand it, and I couldn't take it anymore. I hit my limit. So on a Saturday in May, I woke up in debt, $100 overdrawn, $20 in my pocket, so zero. Keep going here, Lord. You need to step in because I physically can't do it anymore, okay? I'm surrendering it all to you because you said your yoke is easy and your burden is light. So here, you take it, Lord. I'm giving you all my problems and I'm stepping back, man. I surrender. And for the first time in my life, I actually did. I gave up all my expectations of how I thought my career would go, how I thought I'd make money, how I would get paid, where the food would come from, And I simply surrendered. Body, mind, and spirit. I remember feeling this sense of relief. You ever feel that? It's like, not my job. It wasn't my problem. I didn't have the answers. But now it didn't matter anymore. Because God, our God is mercy. Our God is compassion. Our God is faithful to His word and hears the cries of the poor. And that day, I woke up very, very poor. But in the afternoon, the Lord was true to His word. I picked up my mail, and there were 3 checks waiting for me, which covered my bills, put food on the table, and restored my financial standing. I nearly passed out. In a matter of hours, through prayer, expectation, and surrender, my life completely changed that day. And I've never worried about anything in the same way since. I still have the same problems I did before, but just not in that way. Different things. But when they come, I don't I don't approach them in the same way anymore, because it's not up to me. I do everything that I know I can do, and I just surrender. Matthew chapter 6:25 has become particularly resonant for me. I imagine Jesus standing there and saying to me, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, what you will drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing?" Truth. So, of course, I still, as I said, suffer the same slings and arrows and hitches of the human condition that we all do. But that financially inciting incident to my deeper conversion, that reversion, that born-again Catholic catharsis, was and continues to be evidence of God's mercy and grace abounding in my life, that He compels me to share as a testament that if we are humble, willing, and faithful enough to submit and trust Him, then with prayer, expectant faith, and complete surrender, anything is not only possible, but promised, because He is mercy. Thank you so kindly. God bless you.
Tu crois que des choses impossibles peuvent se produire? Des miracles?
Je n'oublierai jamais ce que j'ai vu.
Je suis vraiment navrée, mais je ne sais même pas ton nom.
Je suis Jésus.
T'es dangereux?
Pour certains, peut-être. Je l'ai vu. C'était vraiment incroyable.
Je veux savoir si on a un problème.
Cet homme a prétendu être Dieu de fausses prophéties.
Donc je te repose la question. Existe-t-il un problème, le soi-disant faiseur de miracles?
Jésus de Nazareth.
Comme quoi, il y a parfois de bonnes choses qui viennent de Nazareth.
Si on est obligé de se poser des questions chaque fois qu'on fait quelque chose d'inhabituel, ce voyage va être très pénible pour nous tous.
On y va, allez!
Il y a des hommes justes qui te surveillent. Ils sont à l'affût et pèsent chacun des mots que tu peux dire.
Ce n'est pas pour toi. Vous devez agir différemment des autres.
On ne l'a pas choisi. C'est lui qui nous a choisis.
Je te vois.
Oh, je ne l'aime vraiment pas, cet homme.
Suis-moi, tu en verras plus.
J'étais sur un chemin, et aujourd'hui, mon chemin est tout autre. Et ce qui a provoqué ce changement, c'est cet homme.
C'est l'heure, ça y est?
En route.